Hello, my name is Fernando Harris, and I'm going to talk about Developer Cloud Service in a context of industry and how to set up DevOps in an industry environment inside an organization. So first, a bit of context. As you know, when you're trying to set up application lifecycle management in your company, there are lots of challenges. You have to set up bug tracking systems. You have to set up continuous integration or Jenkins. You have to set up repository systems based on Git, for instance. You have to decide what type of deployment strategy you want to implement, whether it's to deploy in the cloud or on premise. And of course, then you have to integrate with different IDEs to develop and code. And there is a lot of interaction, integration, and connection issues when trying to set up this type of topology. So Oracle Cloud Service works basically four basic pillars, fundamental pillars. The pillar of source control management with its own Git repository, its own Maven repository, um, all the features you would expect from this type of tool. Of course, it's a private Git repository. The second pillar of continuous integration and the possibility of running your Hudson builds or connecting with an external Jenkins server, deploying against WebLogic on cloud on premise or against containers. Third pillar of issue tracking and the fact that you will be able to create tasks, defects, features, estimate and assign effort for your team. And finally, the pillar of team collaboration with support for Scrum and Kanban. Let's take a look in the demo. Well, what you're going to see is basically a small camera for a robot. The robot is a color sorter. It's a live cam right now. And this robot basically tries to identify and sort colors. In our history, this robot will have an issue. It's not working properly, and we should be able to solve this issue. Okay? We are going to try to control what is going on with the robot through an SSH console connected to the robot. All right? Where you'll be able to see the process which is actually monitoring everything which is happening with the robot, as you can see right now. So in the first moment that an issue will be created in backlog, okay? We'll see how to do this in Developer Cloud Service. Then these issues will be associated with the CAN board, all right? And in this CAN board, these different issues will be assigned to a developer as tasks, and the developer will update those tasks. His first task is to basically replicate an error, which is the error which was identified with the robot, as I explained before, and is going to try to replicate that error. So when he goes to his Agile CAN board, he's going to make that error, he's going to check the task which is assigned to him, and is basically going to try to start the robot. Okay, he tries to start the robot, and as you can see in the console monitoring the robot through SSH, there is a functional error with the robot. He cannot start it. He can't process any colors. So the first task is resolved, is done. He moved because he was able to replicate the error. The second task is update latest patched code. So apparently this is a code error, a code issue. And the corrected code was already made available by another developer and shared in the features of snippets in Developer Cloud Service. So he basically copied the corrected code, and inside his Git repository, he replaces the errored code, corrected code. He commits with a message, and automatically we will see that a pipeline was triggered. Okay, and this pipeline is basically consists in two different jobs. And you can see first he made the Git commit and inside his repository, and now the pipelines were triggered through the Hudson with the idea of deploying first the Python code, as you can see here, against the robot, and then restarting the robot processes to see if the code is really working okay. As you can see, the pipeline already started. The first is basically copying the code to the robot, and the second will restart the code. Will restart the robot. 13 seconds ago, the process was restarted. So we can now try to test the robot again. And hopefully the functional error is no longer visible. So this new version of the code is okay. So he gets back to his scan board and he's going to update his latest task, moving it to completed. He updated the latest patched code. Now we really need to test the robot with a piece, trying to test the color sorting feature of the robot. See live, I'm actually dropping a piece, a Lego piece. We can see it here in the monitoring console that it identified, it moved. You can see the speed changing. Yellow is accepted as a color. The robot moved, as you could see in the live cam. And that's it. Really cool, fantastic. He tested the robot successfully. So I'll close my latest task. And that's it. So what can this bring to you? So Developer Cloud Service allows you to very quickly set up a DevOps scenario with all the features you need. You can accelerate your development for new projects, to extend legacy projects, and it's a very cool accelerator to adopt methodologies based on Agile, and it also allows you with different services. Thank you.